It's Wednesday, October 6th. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. The government announced its latest initiatives and decision points at a virtual post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday.
In the last academic year, our grades 4 and 5 students were not able to take the regularly scheduled grade 4 and 5 Pep exams, and we had indicated that those exams would be held this Christmas term. Given the further disruption of the education sector as a result of the pandemic, those exams, which are the grades 4 and 5 Pep that were scheduled for this Christmas term, are cancelled. We will now focus on the plans for the normal sitting of the 2022 Pep Assessments, and we would have communicated this already to our school administrators, who we know are communicating further with our students, but we take this very public opportunity to let all Jamaicans know. It must be noted that the alternative plans are also in place if the dates set for the assessment are disrupted by the pandemic, as they were in the last academic year. And so we want to say to parents, the registration for PEP 6 has commenced using our PEP online registration system. This closes on October 8th, 2021. The assessments for this school year are scheduled accordingly, so February 22 of 2022, you'll have the primary exit profile ability test for grade 6. On March 23rd, 2022, you'll have the language arts performance task, also for grade 6, and then on March 24, 2022, you'll have the mathematics component. April 27, 2022, we'll have the PEP curriculum-based tests, also for grade 6, and those dates are April 27, 2022, and April 28, 2022. And then for our grade 4 performance task, those are currently planned for June 29, 2022, and June 30th, 2022. And then for our grade 5 students, performance task, the dates there are June 8th and 9, 2022.
Jamaica's national vaccination program suffered a setback last Thursday, September 30. 50,000 doses of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines had to be dumped as it had reached the expiration date. Low take-up of the brand of vaccine is one reason given. Another is the decision to expand the use of the Pfizer vaccine.
I found in doing a vaccination blitz in my own constituency, I had to be encouraging people, take AstraZeneca instead of Pfizer, which was designated by the government for children. And I was quite surprised to see individuals from the Ministry of Health comfortably dispensing Pfizer, knowing that we had AstraZeneca coming up with close dates, 1, and 2, knowing that we would not have enough Pfizer to do the second dose for our children. So somebody needs to explain that to us first and foremost, because what we dumped in Pfizer, we could have comfortably used to give persons. What we dumped in AstraZeneca, we could have comfortably used to give persons their first dose, and we would have been in a better place to be able to give the second dose required to persons who should have gotten the Pfizer vaccine.
St. Andrew East Rural Member of Parliament Juliet Holness commented on the issue during Tuesday's sitting of the Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC.
One of the things that need to be done, and I'm sorry Ministry of Health is not here, when a policy direction is set, it needs to be adhered to, because it causes a lot of confusion afterwards. And it was not difficult for me to explain to my own constituents, unfortunately, who many took Pfizer, that for us as adults, since the government did not reserve anything other than Pfizer for our children, allow the children to take Pfizer, and I took out of my way to encourage, also talk to the health professionals. I am an accountant, not a medical doctor, but my take on it was the government is offering to us as adults Johnson & Johnson, and in the case of my blitz, AstraZeneca, so I'm encouraging you to take it. And we need to get to that direction. I feel we have been doing a lot in terms of getting the jabs to persons. We still need to do more in terms of rural areas.
Illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing of Queen Conch has led to an estimated loss of US $284 million over the past 20 years. It has also resulted in loss of jobs for approximately 5,500 Jamaicans. The disclosure was made by Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Audley Shaw. We get more in this report.
Portfolio Minister Audley Shaw was addressing a meeting of ministers responsible for fisheries and blue economic growth on illegal, unreported and unregulated IUU fishing and organized crime on Monday, October 4, 2021. Spiny lobsters were also identified by Minister Shaw as another heavily targeted area by foreign poachers. Spiny lobsters rake in earnings of some $6 million annually and directly employs about 4,000 Jamaicans. IUU fishing and its linkages to organized crimes was another area of concern raised by Minister Shaw. He noted that the practice, quote, transcends not only direct fishing but fishing-related practices in which illegal and illicit activities such as human and drug trafficking, money laundering, tax evasion, among others, end quote. The Agriculture and Fisheries Minister also called for greater commitment to and implementation of internationally recognized benchmarks for fisheries management and monitoring, control and surveillance.
Planting trees is an excellent idea. They offer environmental benefits, prevent soil erosion, are home to various wildlife, offer shade and beauty, and if all that is not enough, they are sources of income. As the government seeks to increase the economic well-being of its citizens and boost food security, it launched a national tree planting initiative. Planting fruit trees is also a great initiative. Since then, a number of organizations and individuals have bought into this move. One such organization is Food for the Poor, the largest charity group in Jamaica. Marlon Samuels has more on how the organization is sowing the seeds of self-help and increasing food security.
Those who plant fruit trees have the privilege of accessing, with the stretch of a hand, a constant supply of fresh, healthy, tasty fruits. Eating fruits reduces hunger. It provides you with essential nutrients needed to stay healthy. It's also a cost-effective way to hold on to limited funds. If you grow what you eat, you can use available funds for other needs. You can also sell the excess to earn additional income. There is increasing demand for Jamaican traditional fruits including sweetsop, star apple, naseberry, jackfruit, breadfruit, and ackee. There is also growing demand locally and overseas for juices made from tamarind, June plum, mango, soursop, and other exotic fruits to be found on the island. Food for the Poor has committed to planting 1 million fruit and timber trees in support of the government's National Tree Planting Initiative. The program is dubbed Fruits for the Poor. 22 varieties of fruit trees germinated by the organization in its fruit tree nursery are being distributed to schools, homeowners, and farmers. The fruit trees being distributed by Food for the Poor include guava and apple. A mission of Food for the Poor is to help reduce poverty through agriculture and fishing. They not only distribute seedlings, they are providing farmers with tools, technical skills, and funding for equipment. Fishermen have been equipped with boats and engines, among other things. For the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says the government is searching for investments in integrated resort development. He was speaking in Parliament on Tuesday. We get this story plus our regular market updates in this business report with Gabriel Thompson.
The government is searching for investments in integrated resort developments. Speaking Tuesday in Parliament, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said starting Wednesday, October 6, interested resort developers may make an application.
Madam Speaker, the request for applications for the award of integrated resort development orders will be open tomorrow, October 6, 2021. Under the Casino Gaming Act, the Minister responsible for Finance may make an order declaring an integrated resort development to be an approved integrated resort development.
An integrated resort development is a single development consisting of a mix of tourism and entertainment amenities in the same geographical space. An IRD usually has hotels, villas, casinos, attractions, sporting and entertainment facilities. Following the Minister's approval for an IRD, developers are able to make applications to the Casino Gaming Commission
for a license to be issued under the Act to operate a casino within that resort development. Last month, Madam Speaker, to ensure transparency of the process and the best possible returns for Jamaica, and in order to ensure that we have the best possibility that a successful applicant indeed does build and apply for and eventually operate a casino resort, I appointed a 10-member enterprise team chaired by Dr. Dana Dixon, who will receive and evaluate applications from interested investors for integrated resort developments.
Applications will be received and evaluated by a dedicated enterprise team who will evaluate them and make recommendations to the Finance Minister.
The application process and selection of the approved integrated resort developments will be managed by that enterprise team, which includes persons with a diversity of skills and experience drawn from across the public sector and supplemented with persons with private sector experience, including persons knowledgeable about our anti-money laundering and countering terrorism framework and among other notable competencies.
The Casino Gaming Act was amended earlier this year to change the requirements for IRDs.
Changes to the requirements to be designated an integrated resort development include 1,000 hotel rooms, which was reduced from the prior requirement for 2,000 rooms. A further requirement is that 500 of the constructed rooms are to be designed and implemented as luxury rooms. And there is a minimum capital investment for an integrated resort development of $500 million. In addition, another important change included that all elements of the approved integrated resort development are to be constructed and operational within 3 years of the commencement of the operation of any casino activity on the development, and that failure to comply will result in a penalty.
Further details, including the guidelines for applications, will be available on the JAMPRO and Ministry of Finance websites. In foreign exchange trading for Tuesday, October 5, the US dollar sold for an average $147.66. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $118.50. The pound sterling traded for $202.43, and the euro sold for an average $176.24. In Tuesday's trading session, the JSE Combined Index declined by 446 points to close at over 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 97 stocks, of which 46 advanced, 38 declined, and 13 traded firm. The Junior Market Index advanced by 4 points to close at over 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited, Blue Power Group Limited, and Caribbean Cement Company Limited. Stocks declined for Barita Investments Limited, Berger Paints Jamaica Limited, and Cargo Handlers Limited. Trading firm were CAC 2000 Limited, Epley 7.5% preference shares, and First Rock Capital Holdings Limited. QWI Investments Limited was the volume leader with over 1.8 million units, followed by Siboney Group Limited with over 1.4 million units, and Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with over 1.2 million units. In market data for oil, prices hit a multi-year high on Wednesday above $83 a barrel, supported by OPEC Plus's refusal to ramp up production more rapidly against the backdrop of concern about tight energy supply globally. The market later unwound those gains due to an American Petrol Institute report showing rising crude inventories in the United States, and analysts said technical indicators suggesting oil has rallied too fast. Brent crude futures lost 4 cents at $82.52 a barrel. West Texas crude was down 10 cents at $78.83 a barrel. And on that note, we close this Wednesday edition of the Business Report Inside the News on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson. Pleasant viewing.
Our bones and gums form an invaluable foundation for our teeth. Without them, there would be tooth loss and ultimately a decline in our overall health, as there is no real health without good dental health. In today's Healthy Living Report, Dr. Lawson Mize of Ligonier Family Dental uses her HDs Jazz platform to look at the importance of having a strong foundation.
HD. Welcome to another episode of HDs Jazz. We're in season number 4, and today we're going to be talking about a firm foundation. I want you to know that this position is proof that I am committed to HDs Jazz. My director convinced me to come under the roadway. Took me 5 minutes to convince myself to jump down, but here I am. We're talking about a firm foundation. Listen, in 2004, Hurricane Ivan just about wiped out this Palisados road. Today, it stands higher and more secured than ever before because it has received a firm foundation. Our teeth are held in place firmly by the bone that supports them. Now, if that bone is healthy, everything is great. However, if the bone is not healthy, it begins to be eaten away. And anything where the support begins to decrease, you get mobility. So teeth may look longer, teeth may begin to shift, teeth may be mobile and ultimately fall out. So it's important to have a firm foundation. Plaque accumulates on our teeth every day. It's that soft, sticky substance that accumulates on your teeth, even if you don't eat. It's easily removed when you brush and floss. But if there are areas that the toothbrush and floss are not getting to, it becomes a problem. You see that soft, sticky plaque, after 2 to 3 days, becomes hard. And once it becomes hard, you can't brush it away, you can't floss it away, but guess what? It's eating away at your foundation. Because you don't feel any pain, you're not even aware that it's happening. So one of the important things that happens in a dental visit is that your foundation is checked. And if it's not healthy, it can easily be treated or controlled by your dental surgeon. A healthy foundation is a must for a beautiful smile and for strong, healthy teeth. This roadway is proof that a firm foundation is essential. It doesn't matter how beautiful the top looks, if the foundation is not what it should be, it's like sinking sand. Listen, catch you next time. Facebook, YouTube, LFD website. See you next time on HDs Jazz.
In regional news, a draconian budget would not have made any sense. This, according to the Finance Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Sunil Lala, reports.
If one looked at what was being said in the media, this was supposed to be a draconian budget. But if one thinks about it very seriously, a draconian budget would not have made any sense.
Finance Minister Colmenberg says government's move is to ensure the economy revives and any major cutbacks or taxes would not achieve this.
We are well aware that businesses and individuals are struggling. We are well aware that any cutback in expenditure by the government, any drastic cutback that is, would stultify the economy and would create more problems than it solves.
Mr. Imbert says many have been demanding a cut to expenditure in order to have a balanced budget, but says there is little to no wastage in that $52 billion package. He notes that the only area that can be cut is subsidies and transfers.
It will mean the removal of all subsidies, obviously, but not just that. It will mean mass retrenchment. When you have mass retrenchment, you lose purchasing power. So that would lead to the closure of thousands of businesses in this country. So cutting government expenditure by $10 billion or so, which is what I am being asked to do, would just crash the economy and destroy the country.
The minister says, though, that up to 2018, government was on the right track to balance the budget had it not been for a dip in energy prices and COVID.
Yes, we have a plan. We had one before COVID hit us. We felt we could balance the budget by 2021. We're well on the way. The revenue was going up, expenditure was coming down. But we have unprecedented requirements for expenditure now. The health sector, for example, COVID has cost us at least $500 million more than expected.
Mr. Imbert says, though, that there is a plan to reduce subsidies and transfers. Sonolala, TTT News.
Health authorities on St. Kitts and Nevis are about to implement a new set of protocols associated with contact tracing and quarantining.
Health authorities on St. Kitts and Nevis are about to implement a new set of protocols associated with contact tracing and quarantining. The new protocols come as the country reaches a high level of vaccinated individuals, and the availability of the Pfizer vaccine will now provide a second choice for individuals and allow for the vaccination of children. In the recent sitting of the National Assembly, Minister of Health Akila Byron Nisbet outlined the proposed changes.
A fully vaccinated contact will receive one RT-PCR test, which will be done 7 days post last contact with the positive case and no tracing of that individual's contact. They will also be allowed to continue work or usual activity. However, if you are fully vaccinated and you are living with a positive case, you will test on day 7, and then you would also be tested again when the case is fully recovered. In terms of our unvaccinated or partially vaccinated contacts, our new recommendation for unvaccinated or partially vaccinated contacts is that these individuals will be quarantined for 14 days. Then you will be tested on day 14 and, if negative, released. That means for our unvaccinated or partially unvaccinated individuals, you would also be doing one test at the end of your quarantine period, which will be 14 days post-contact with the positive case.
Meanwhile, the number of COVID-19 case managers will be increased from 7 to 10 on St. Kitts, while Nevis will maintain its 3 for the moment. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
In the Bahamas, more than 500 hiring and promotions are under review by Cabinet. This to ensure hires and promotions are based on merit. Jasmine Brown reports.
Not doing anything peculiar. In any new administration, we would assess what has taken place, especially what has taken place in the last 6 to 8 weeks. So we have placed all pending promotions and hirings on hold. I am making an assessment in the shortest possible time.
The State Minister for Public Service says officials are working hard to ensure that review is completed in a reasonable amount of time.
Obviously, persons are waiting. It's not our intention to disenfranchise. We have to make sure that policy is being conformed to. We have to make sure that these promotions are being issued on merit. And of course, we also want to I continue to say that we want to consider that we make sure that our personnel is not disenfranchised by a long wait.
On September 13th, just days before the 2021 general election, then Public Service Minister Renzo Roll revealed the government had officially made 1,200 workers from its 52-week unemployment program permanent and pensionable. During a Free National Movement rally in Abaco, he said 85 people from the island were approved with letters of employment readied. Glover Roll says so far the process is going smoothly and assessments are being made in consultation with other ministries.
So it's not only going to be a process of ensuring that the backlog is handled, but we're going to look for future, to make the process smoother for the future, because it's systemic that there's a backlog. So we need to see the processes that we're going to put in place that will eliminate the backlog for future. People put in the work in the public service, so we want to make sure that we're duly compensating them and providing the rewards that are necessary.
Now, the State Minister says the goal is to streamline the public service and ensure it's efficient and effective. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
And in sports, we're courtside with netball. The Margaret Beckford Sunshine Series takes place at the National Indoor Sports Center October 16 to 20, 2021. The event was originally announced as a tri-series to include Jamaica's Sunshine Girls, Trinidad and Tobago's Calypso Girls, and the South African team. South Africa has withdrawn from the series, citing COVID-19 concerns. To fill the gap, Jamaica's male team have been named as replacement for South Africa. In justifying this decision, Netball Jamaica President Tricia Robinson said the male team's role is simply to provide an additional game for both the Sunshine and Calypso Girls. And that's our package. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more news and sports right here on PBCJ, the People's Station.